Ooh, there's a nice one. Yeah, it's another nice brown. Wow. That one's got a lot of spunk. Look at that. Nice. Beautiful. Summer nymphing can be challenging. One of the hardest parts of all, and especially this region of the country, is just finding a good place to fish. Water temperatures are often too high in many of the streams that we fish, especially north central Pennsylvania where I'm from. A lot of the water temperatures have been well into the 70s for the past couple weeks, and just not fishable. So I've had to travel a little bit to find cold water. Once you're actually on the water, make sure you're taking your water temperatures frequently. Not only just when you start, but also a few hours into the day. Water can warm up very fast in certain sections. For instance, one morning here, it started out, it was 62 degrees in one section, and by later in the afternoon, well, we had stopped at noon when it was like 66, 67 almost. And by the time we came back at like 5:30 to fish, it was 72 degrees in that same section. So just because it's one temperature in the morning doesn't mean it's going to be fishable all day. Take your water temperature readings several times throughout the day just to keep tabs of what's going on, and always keep the trout in mind. You should never fish when it's 68 or above. Ideally you want a 66 and below. Another tip for summer nymphing: fish slow. Don't move so fast getting into position, because the water is so low that you could spook most of the fish before you even get a chance to cast them. It's amazing the vibrations of your feet on their stream bottom. Those send out just signals to the trout that something's approaching, and they're long gone before you even see them. I don't rush right back in there after I catch. I try to let it soak for a good 5, even 10 minutes before I go back to fishing it. And this basically just allows the trout to get settled again in that pool, and to get back into a feeding rhythm if they were feeding. And then I can work on approaching them again in the same way, slowly getting into position, trying not to spook them before I even make that first cast. If you're used to fishing a 2-fly rig, which is what I do a lot of times, but in the summertime the water levels can be low, and it can be really difficult to get good drifts with 2 flies at one time. So there's no harm in cutting off that tag fly or dropper or whatever, and just fishing 1 fly. It's better to fish 1 fly effectively than 2 flies not effective. And a lot of times I'm using 6, 7X. 90% of the time, especially on a stream like this that's real shallow, I'm using 7X. These are high pressured fish, and anything larger is not only going to spook fish, I think, but also affect the way your fly drifts in these really soft currents. You're going to get a better, more natural drift with a 7X, or in whatever water you fish, basically going 1 size, 2 sizes down from your normal selection. Another important part of summer fishing is shade. Once that sun gets up over the trees and starts pounding down on the water, those fish either get really skittish, or they just vacate those spots and head for the shaded cover close to the banks. And you can catch fish in the shade in 6 inches of water if you approach it right. Wild browns especially just seem to hate sunny days. When that sunshine starts pounding down on the water, they get skittish, or they vacate those lies into the more shaded cover where they feel secure. And I think it's important to know that they never stop feeding. I just caught one here. They coughed up about a 3 to 4 inch little trout. So they're feeding all summer long, and it's a matter of finding the right conditions to where we can fish for them safely and ethically. We don't want to stress out the fish any more than we have to in these warmer temperatures. So you have to really be responsible. Look for the right water temperatures, the right situation, and when you find those, fish on. Catch you next time.